All right, welcome to our explainer on GCP's architecture fundamentals. Look, before we can even start talking about the cool stuff like AI or global databases, we gotta get the basics right. This module, this is the Bedrock. It's the absolute essential first step for building anything powerful, anything lasting in the cloud. So, let's dive in.
So let me start by asking you a really important question. Is your cloud architecture built on sand? And I mean, think about it for a second. When you first got started, did you kind of just spin up VMs and services as you needed them? You know, it's a story I hear all the time, and it almost always leads to a foundation that just can't handle serious enterprise-grade work.
And you can feel it when that foundation is weak, can't you? Your security policies are all over the place, the costs start to spiral, and nobody's really sure why. Your team feels like they're in this constant operational drag just trying to keep the lights on. Deploying a new app? Forget it, it takes forever. And trying to scale reliably feels, well, impossible. This is the chaos we're here to fix. To get from all that chaos to some real order, we need a guide, right? We need an architectural North Star. And for us, that guide is a set of core principles that form the theoretical basis for any good cloud design. And here it is, the Google Cloud Well-Architected Framework. Now, it's really important to understand this isn't a product you buy or some service you just turn on. A better way to think about it is like the architectural plants. It's the complete set of best practices for building things the right way on the cloud, right from the very beginning.
The whole framework is built on 5 key pillars. These are the core areas you've got to focus on for any robust architecture. We're talking about running efficiently, making sure everything is secure by design, building for resilience, keeping an eye on costs, and of course, ensuring high performance. If you can get these right, you're absolutely on the path to success.
Okay, so let's shift gears from theory to our first really tangible and honestly an absolutely critical decision, choosing your physical footprint in the cloud. Getting this wrong early on can cause some major headaches down the road. Now, the official term for this is a deployment archetype. Sounds a bit fancy, right? But really, all it's about is choosing your plot of land and what kind of foundation you're going to build on it. Are you building in just a single zone, across an entire region, or maybe even across multiple regions? This one choice directly impacts the availability and resilience of your application.
This table here lays out the trade-offs perfectly. I mean, look at the zonal archetype up top. It's great for dev test, but as you can see in that key consideration column, it's vulnerable. Regional, now that is often the sweet spot. It gives you a great balance of availability and cost. And multi-regional? Well, that's for your most mission-critical global apps. Making the right call here and making it early is just so important.
So, you've chosen your footprint. The question is, how do you actually build it out? The key is to do it with speed, with consistency, and with security baked in from day one. And the only way to do that right is through automation.
This is where the whole concept of a landing zone comes in. So if the well-architected framework is your blueprint and the archetype is your plot of land, then the landing zone is your automated construction crew. It's that pre-configured, secure environment that prepares the whole site according to your plans, making sure everything is set up perfectly before you even think about laying the first brick of your application.
A really solid landing zone is built on 4 core automation steps. First, you handle identity. You got to control who has access. Then, you set up the resource hierarchy for good governance. Next up is your network design. And finally, you embed those security controls from the very start. It's a sequential, totally automated process.
Okay, so what if you could take all of these best practices, the framework, the archetypes, the landing zone, and just deploy them automatically using a proven gold standard template? Well, that is exactly where the enterprise blueprint comes in.
Because at the end of the day, a well-designed foundation isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about enabling everything else you want to do. It's the key to getting consistent governance, security, and real scale. And this is the Enterprise Foundation's blueprint. You can think of this as a prefabricated, reinforced foundation. It's a very specific implementation of a landing zone, using deployable Terraform code that literally writes Google's best practices into your environment. It lets you accelerate a secure, enterprise-grade deployment like you wouldn't believe.
So the real magic is what you get right out of the box. Your entire foundation is defined as code. All your changes are managed through a GitOps model, so they're repeatable and they're auditable. You get centralized login and networking, pre-configured security policies that stop risky configurations before they happen, and a defense-in-depth security model baked in from the very start.
So you can see we've walked the whole path here, from principles all the way to practice. This is how you transform your cloud environment from that state of chaos to one of total control and order.
I mean, the difference is truly night and day. On one side, you've got that ad hoc setup with its inconsistent security and slow manual deployments, and on the other, you have the enterprise foundation, giving you defense in depth, automated pipelines, and proactive policy controls. It's a complete transformation.
And here it is. This is the ultimate payoff. Getting these so-called boring fundamentals right is exactly what unlocks all the exciting, high-value work. A solid foundation is what makes building those advanced AI models, deploying global databases, and achieving rapid, secure innovation not just possible, but actually repeatable.
So, we end right where we began, but with a whole new perspective. The foundation is set, it's solid, and it's ready to scale. The only question left is, what are you going to build on it?